This year has been a very tough year for people with a job, and you simply want to take back control of your life and your finances. And to go full time with real estate investing may seem like the best way to go. Well, I'm here to tell you that many have tried and many have failed. In this episode, I am going to show you what it is that you must do before you quit your job so you don't make this the worst decision of your life. If you're ready, let's go. I'm John Barbera with An Investor's Journey, sharing with you the best tips and tactics to invest in real estate the right way. In this channel, we share with you lessons learned as full-time real estate investors, like this video right here. So if you're new, consider subscribing. It makes perfect sense that you want to look for something outside of having a job, something that's perhaps more in your control. But let me ask you, don't you think if real estate investing was that easy and lucrative, there'd be a lot more people succeeding in this? So why do you think it is that most people fail? Lack of knowledge? What about lack of money? How about lack of patience? Well, the answer is all of the above. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you how to tackle each one of these so you don't become another wannabe failed investor. I want you to succeed in this. I want you to succeed in this next venture. And make sure you stick around to the end, as I'm going to show you some more videos that we've done that are going to build on this, so you can take it from here and get into becoming a successful investor with all the free videos and all the free stuff that we've put in this channel. Now, before I get into this, let me be very clear. This is going to be your new full-time job. The difference being is that you're not going to receive a check just for showing up every week. Shit, there might be times that you might not receive a check for months. But the work you got to put in is probably going to be more than a full-time job. It's going to be more work, more hours, more headaches. You're going to have more discipline, and the money's not going to roll in as consistently when you're starting off. But it sure as hell is worth it. But I need you to understand and be okay with this being more work than you think it's going to be. So let me give you a quick breakdown of the time commitment that you need to dedicate to each area of real estate investing, just so you understand if you are looking to do this full-time or part-time, what is it that you can expect to put in for a good return. First thing, what do we have? Flipping houses. Most attractive thing. This is full-time. If you're going to flip houses, you need to dedicate full-time. What do I mean by full-time? 60 plus hours a week. And now all of these times, they're not your traditional 9 to 5 full-time jobs. These are your investing full-time jobs. These are your business owner full-time hours. All right, business owners don't do full-time like most employees. So you have flipping houses full-time at 60 plus hours. Wholesaling, that's another full-time job, but this one's more like 80 plus hours a week that you need to dedicate. And wholesaling is not investing. It's a good stepping stone, but it's not investing. And you have buy and hold. Buy and hold is more of a part-time at 40 hours a week. Owner finance, that's another part-time at also 40 hours a week. Lending money and investing in notes, we consider that to be part-time at 20 hours a week. Now, again, these are entrepreneur hours. These are not regular employee hours. The 20, the 40s, the 60, these are the amount of hours that you need to dedicate to be able to do the right research, the right analysis on these properties, the right education that you're going to need for the market, for the investors, for everything that you're taking on. It's going to require this amount of time for you to be able to make sure that every investment you get into is done correctly. Also, we are doing a workshop December 16th. This workshop is to help you if you've never invested in real estate and you want to get started with wholesaling. It's a live workshop that I'm going to show you how to get started in wholesaling with no money. I'm going to show you all the steps, what you need to do, how to start, how to go from nothing and make money within a few short months and build an actual business, get the knowledge, get everything that you need very, very quickly. It works. It is going to require work, but I'm going to show you step by step how to get this done. So, the first issue that we're tackling here is lack of knowledge. This is what trips everybody up, and the majority of people do not even move on from this first hurdle, which is the lack of knowledge. And what's actually interesting is that most people don't actually struggle with lack of knowledge, but rather they struggle more with the lack of focus and the lack of discipline that is required. So, first thing you want to keep in mind within the lack of knowledge is do not buy expensive training or mentorship programs. A lot of people get started and they fail because they blow all of their money on expensive training and expensive mentorships and all of these classes and all of these things. You got to understand that you still need money for marketing. You still need money for so many other things that when you put in all your money into this, you're left with nothing. And another part of that is that you think, and a lot of people think this, that just because they spent 20, 30, 40, $50,000 on a training program, and yes, people are spending that insane amount of money on training programs and mentorships, you think that that's it. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You understand? Like, you buying all this training, you buying all this means absolutely nothing if you don't take the action, which is number two. Number two in the lack of knowledge is doing is more important than reading and watching videos. If you don't take action, it doesn't matter how much training, how much courses, how much mentorship you have, you're never going to succeed. You need to take action. And that's how I got started. I got started by taking action first and figuring it out later. You understand? Like, I was getting going, I was doing things as I was learning. As soon as I would learn one new thing, I went out and I did it. And there were a million more questions that came out of it, but the million more questions came out of taking action. So then the answers mattered more because now I knew how to implement those answers instead of asking a bunch of hypothetical questions. So you have to make sure that you're not spending that much money on mentoring and training. And you have to value the fact that you got to take action first. The reason taking action is so important is that you possibly cannot learn every single way that there is to, let's say, wholesale a house or flip a house or buy a rental from, let's say, a coaching program, right? They cannot teach you every single way you do this. They can give you the broad overview, but every property is different. Every seller is different. Every strategy is different. And it all changes. The best way to learn is by implementing. And if you don't implement and then you don't take action and you don't come across more deals and more ability, more chances for you to implement, you're not going to learn anything. You understand? It's going to be very, very hard. And you're going to try to go to all these property, all these deals, trying to implement that one strategy that you learned because it's the only thing you know. And you're going to see how little the amount of deals that would fit that strategy because they are all different in every different way. So you got to make sure that by implementing, you're able to actually learn all the nuances with wholesaling, with flipping, with buying holds, with owner finance. You understand? And failing in this business is not actually failing, it's learning. All right. Whenever you lose a deal, you're learning. Whenever you don't, close the person or you don't get paid right or you lose money, all of these are learning opportunities and you got to take them as such. You can't look at these things as failing and you want to learn everything you possibly can so you don't fail. It doesn't work that way. You want to fail as fast as possible because all that means is that you're going to learn as fast as possible. You understand? And the quicker you learn, the better investor you become. And the third thing with lack of knowledge that you want to keep in mind is that you need to sacrifice profit for knowledge. All right? You need to be a sponge when you don't know what you're doing. And you need to be willing to sacrifice this. You need to be willing to sacrifice your profit. Stop chasing money. Every time you chase money, you're always behind it. You're always behind money because you're always chasing it. Instead, what you want to focus on is chasing knowledge. You want to be able to partner with as many people as possible. We talk about partnerships so damn much because it's so valuable. I always hear a lot of people, and let me tell you a little story, is you have investors that I've spoken to that they take on a flip and they don't want to partner, right? Because they say, oh, I learned better on my own. Bullshit. You learn better what? You don't know what the hell you're doing. What are you learning? You can flip the house. Maybe you made $10,000 on it and you think, okay, I made 10 grand. But you know why you didn't make 40? If you're new, how are you going to know? If you've never flipped a house before, how are you going to know? How are you going to know where you went wrong? How are you going to know where you could have increased more and made more money in that deal? You're not going to. There's no way that you can know because you've never done this before. But instead, if you partner with somebody that has done it and you make 10 grand, they're going to tell you, look, we were really targeting to make 25 grand, but we hit this problem, this problem, this problem, or maybe we were targeting to hit more, or the market shifted this way, or we were expecting to get this, but we saw the buyers are different now when the market shifted. Only an experienced investor is going to know why they didn't make what they could have made. And as a novice investor, you're not going to understand these things. You're just going to think that's just what it is, right? I got to get deals with bigger profit margins. And it's maybe not that. Maybe you just made mistakes that you're not aware of. So that's why we tell people to partner and sacrifice profit for knowledge. The more you partner up front and you're sacrificing that profit, which I don't consider it a sacrifice because the amount of knowledge you're getting is going to 10x your profit moving forward. But if you look at it as sacrificing, you're sacrificing that profit, but you're getting real life lessons, things that there's no guru training or no training program in the world that can teach you that. So you got to get that in your head. If you want to learn, if you want to get rid of that fear of lack of knowledge, you must partner with people. Partner with people in the field that you want to learn. If you want to learn how to flip, wholesale, buy and hold, owner finance, whatever it is, partner with the people that are successful in those fields. Not people that just say they're there, but people that are showing consistent success in those fields. Partner with them and be a sponge. You'll be surprised at how quickly you're going to learn and how quickly you're going to be doing deals 100% on your own. And remember, if you're getting value from all this, make sure you hit that like button. So, issue number 2, lack of money. Now, don't kid yourself. You do need money to invest in real estate. You understand? Yes, there are many, many creative ways that you can invest in real estate without any money. But again, these are creative ways. These take a lot of knowledge. These take, a right group of people helping you and for you to understand this. But somebody needs money. The money needs to be spent in real estate, regardless of where it comes from. You need to spend money. All right. Whether it's for marketing, whether it's for buying the actual deals. And biggest thing is to survive. So as you are thinking about quitting your job and losing that paycheck, you need to think to yourself, well, I still need to survive. I still need money to take care of my bills. So you need to be smart and you need to budget. And you need to set a budget not of, oh, okay, I'm good for a month or two. No, you need to be good for 6 to 12 months and more closer to 12 months. Because if you lack any of these and you're not taking these steps as far as partnering and taking the time to learn from people, it's going to take you much longer to succeed. So if you're not partnering, you're not doing that, you're going to need time to succeed. That means that you need to budget all of your expenses so you don't become desperate. Because once you become desperate, you start making terrible decisions, you start doing terrible deals, and you fail very, very quickly. All right. And you can't just budget just your bills, you have to budget your investing, right? How much money are you going to need for real estate? Whether you're doing marketing, whether you're doing, maintenance, whatever it is that you're doing in real estate, even if you want to invest in real estate, you need money to float that. You understand? So if you're going to be doing all that, you need to budget not just how much you need for your personal bills, but how much are you going to need for your real estate business? A lot of people don't take that into account. And then they start their real estate business and they realize, like, shoot, I don't have any money to invest. I can't do any marketing. I can't even fill up my gas tank to try, to drive for dollars or do whatever it may be. So you must budget all these things in. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be your money. And this workshop that we're doing is precisely about that, showing you how to do with other people's money. And there's plenty of information out there. We've done plenty of videos, which I'll be telling you at the end of this video, which ones to go after. But there are ways that you can do all this without your own money. But please understand money needs to be spent somehow. You need to figure out where is that going to come from. Now, the last one, lack of patience. I love this image that I'm sure you guys have seen throughout the internet. It's two people digging, and there's a hole on the other end with a pile of diamonds, right? And you have the person that's turning around, gave up, and they were like a foot away from hitting that jackpot. And the other person, that jackpot is further away, and they're still just digging and going after it. This is where a lack of patience comes in. Can you succeed? 100%. I believe you can succeed 100%. I believe in you and I know you can do it. But if you don't believe in yourself, there's not much you can do. If you don't believe that you can make it, if you don't have the patience to know that it's not a question of if, it's more of a question of when, then you're going to struggle. That's what patience is. I never had a doubt in my mind that I was going to succeed in this. It was just a question of when was I going to succeed in this? And it took a while. It took me, what, 2-3 years before I was able to actually make a consistent living doing what I was doing and wholesaling houses and doing everything. I mean, one thing you got to understand that experience is earned. You understand? It cannot be taught. It cannot be bought. You got to earn experience. And the only way you're going to earn experience is with time. You got to put in time. You got to have the patience. If you're picking wholesaling, you need the time of speaking to a ton of sellers, doing marketing, understanding, analyzing deals, looking at all kinds of deals, at all kinds of investments. You need that time to build the experience so when you get that call, you can damn near get it on the contract on the phone. You can damn near get it on the contract on your first appointment. Move quicker, close faster. You know which buyers you're targeting. If you're flipping a house, same thing. The more knowledge you have and the more experience, you're going to be able to go through houses quicker. You're going to be able to budget your money quicker. You know how many flippers we talk to where they hit the end of their money and still have more project to go? And they're like, oh crap, I can't even finish this project because I ran out of money. That's because you don't have the experience to budget ahead. You don't have the experience to understand how much does it actually take to renovate a house. You understand? There's a difference between what an investor tells you it takes and what it's actually going to take you to renovate the house. And the only way you're going to learn all this is through experience, personal experience. And the way you get personal experience is through action, is through partnerships, and through patience. If you implement patience, you're going to get the experience, you're going to get the knowledge, you're going to get the access to the money, and you're going to get the success. So below, I actually in the description, I put some videos that if you're looking to get started in flipping, which ones you should watch. If you're looking to get started in wholesaling, which ones to watch, as well as buy and hold and lending and everything like that. So pick the category that you're interested in, watch those how to get started videos. It's going to take you through a lot of the fundamentals. There's a lot of advanced strategies in there as well. So check those out, watch those videos, understand what it's going to take for you to get going, understand what it's going to take for you to actually implement quitting your job and succeeding in this. Now, I do believe anybody can succeed in real estate, but not everybody does. And that is because of these three things: lack of knowledge, lack of patience, lack of money. So I've given you everything that you need to understand how to tackle each one of those to make sure you're succeeding every step of the way. And also, you can check out this video if you're looking to get started as a wholesaler and you're trying to figure out how to get going. Building the right buyers list is definitely where you want to be. The right buyers can guide you and help you through all of this. So check out that video, and there's more training right here. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.